Greetings, gods and goddesses in training. Welcome back to the channel. It is Uncle Makara, all relations. Today I'm talking about aura maxing, but also I've started to realize, guys, that the reason people suffer is they start to cling and identify with life so much and all of these different things happening, right? They're trying to cling to the changing experiences and the impermanence of life. This is why the samurais used to live like they're already dead, right? In a sense, because they know that the simulation is under their control, that you have to just start waking up to the true reality that you're in. Why do we get caught up in all these algorithm traps and marketing hacks? Congratulations, you won. Okay? It appeals to the ego. That's why. It makes the ego perk up its eyes, right? It gets excited, gets that rush. People talk about aura nowadays. It's a very big buzzword, right? All the Gen Z are using it. Tap into infinite plus 9999999 aura. Okay. This is not some glitter filter superpower, okay, my friends? Aura, the way that I see it as a positive psychologist, is your values in motion. Okay. So that means it's not about colors. It's not about your zodiac. It's not about your chakra fashion, though I am a sacral chakra path and I'm wearing orange today. Your aura is a field expression of what you actually prioritize in real time. Okay. So you can't fake your aura. You can't perform an aura. This is why we have to kill the performer. This is why we have to go, wait a minute, that's not me, that's my ego. Well, you're thinking, I am me with this job, with this health, but your body's always changing, your mind's always changing. So what remains? So what remains? That is your origin. You are the witness consciousness. But your aura is the true readout of your operating values. You can say that you value honesty, but then you lie to get a little bit of comfort. Your aura broadcasts collapse because your aura is not a shine. It's a signal integrity. So that means your values are like the source code. And your strengths are your values applied under friction. And that is what your aura is. Aura is not soft, okay? It's architectural. It's the imminent electromagnetic signature of which values survive when reality pushes back. You value courage? Cool. When someone confronts you, do you get uncomfortable or do you breathe through it? That's the difference between like a purple aura and a brittle aura, right? If you value compassion, that's fantastic. So when someone is jealous or toxic, do you stay open and have a conversation without collapsing? That's the difference between a high bandwidth heart field and a sentimental tantrum. Your aura is not defined in meditation, it's defined in conflict. Okay? Not physical conflict, it's also the internal conflict. We have these sounds in Bengali movies, dishum, right? That's the onomatopoeia. Dishum, dishum. It's kind of weird to punch like dishum, right? Pow is better, but we have dishum, right? Your values are only real when they are compressible into behavior, and your strengths are the values that survived stress testing. So they are the values that lasted the test of time. And aura is what survival looks like in the subtle fields, right, guys? So flow state is not something that you enter. It's what's left when you stop gripping impermanence, like a child holding on to melted ice. You only suffer because you clamp down on a moment that's already evaporating, right? We try to own our vibration, an identity, a trait, a version of ourselves, a version of another person, a moment of validation, a moment of admiration, maybe a hit of attention, a hit of resonance. But the physics of existence is brutal and elegant. Everything in the manifest plane is slipping. You don't get to freeze life. When you finally let it move, that is flow. Flow is not discipline and hacks and Pomodoro timers and binaural beats and self-optimization spreadsheets. Flow is when you realize, I don't need to lock anything down. I can just dance with what emerges. It's not a 24/7 of grinding. It's the refusal to build prisons out of memories. You see, the ego, it loves repeatable certainty. The soul, it wants this infinite emergence. We suffer because we treat experiences like they are possessions. We think we must keep it, otherwise it's not real. But the mystics know reality is only real when it's slipping. Flow state equals my identity is a verb, right? My presence is a surfboard. My attention is a blade. My nervous system doesn't flinch when conditions mutate. State over circumstance. When we stop strangling the moment to preserve familiarity, we become the one thing that life always rewards, becoming identical to change itself. This is how you enter flow 24/7, not holding on to power, but by becoming the bloodstream of existence, where power never stops moving. Through eternity. You are eternity. You think, if I keep thinking harder, maybe I'll crack God like a Rubik's Cube. Nope. God doesn't reward the man who knows more. God rewards the man who holds less. And God doesn't come through the mind. God shows up when the mind stops. No mind. Zero thinking. Mushin. That's when God shows up. Problem is not that you're dumb. The problem is you're addicted to mental chewing. The mind has become a constant gum that you've never spit out. You're chewing your memories, your fantasies, your identities. But when do you actually taste reality? Hey, reality's right here. God is right here. Consciousness is right here. But you're too busy thinking about, what does my personality mean? Right? It's the ego. It's not you. Right? People love personality quizzes. Okay. Even God is something you have to wait for, like some cosmic email. Bro, it's already downloaded. You're the fucking app. Your RAM is clogged up by your self-concern. Your CPU's on fire because it keeps running the me.exe file. Let that process crash, because silence isn't empty. Silence is full of signal behind the noise. You know when I realized this? When I stopped trying to be a good spiritual student. I just sat there like a dumb animal breathing. That's when I tasted the presence that needs no concept. And that's when Uncle Makro was born. Not in some technique, but in the gap between my thoughts. You see, God doesn't hide from you. You hide from God with your compulsive commentaries. Thinking is not intelligence. Thinking is another form of tension. And when your mind collapses into this moment, you become what the monks were pointing at. A man that is so present that God uses his mouth to speak. So stop overthinking and become the space between your thoughts. Learn to dance with life. Stop trying to force it. This is the great work, guys. This is where we thrive and roar. There's no better spiritual flex than presence, pure presence. Okay? That's how you stay in flow 24/7. You don't need to force it. You don't need to rush. And remember, upgrade your values. Okay? Let's get it to the Upward Spiral gang. Thank you for tapping in. I hope you have an incredible rest of your day. May the flow be with you. Stay legendary. You got this. Boom. Winning.